Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Animac here for the One Piece Virgin podcast. We are back again. Joining me, of course, my co-hosts and fellow One Piece Chads, Knox and Briggs.
Knox and Briggs! Yo, can we change the podcast name to the One Piece Chad podcast now?
No, because the concept is still, if you're watching from episode 1 or listening from episode 1,
Fine.
That's the idea. And today we're going to be doing a tier list of the best villains and antagonists in One Piece. And there's a lot of them. So I'm really excited for this because I love some of the villains and antagonists in One Piece. And because we've done so many arcs, we never got to really kind of look back at all of them and compare them to each other. So in this episode, we're going to be doing that. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And next week, we are starting a brand new podcast, the Naruto Virgin podcast. We're going to be covering the first 9 chapters of the Naruto manga, or episodes. Do you guys know?
Oh, God, do me like this. I don't know. Like 5 or 6? It's until the Zabuza arc.
Yes, until the Zabuza arc, whatever that means. And yeah, so we're going to be starting that. It's going to be here on Twitch live. And then we're going to start a separate podcast on all the platforms for you guys to find. And we haven't done it yet because I think you actually need like an episode or 2 before the feed can be approved. But we're going to look into that this week so that by next week you will hopefully have it on all the platforms. But if you don't want to wait, you can follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/RankCafe, and listen to it live. And then it's going to start being uploaded regularly on the podcasting platforms and on YouTube, I think, as well, right? Briggs?
Yes, we're going to try it out on YouTube. My apologies.
Yeah, because Briggs does the YouTube uploads, so then, we're kind of giving him more work to do, so hopefully he'll be up to the job.
Yeah. YouTube, probably the anime version too. Or maybe Gozen could do the anime version. But yeah, I'm super excited for all the podcasts. We're doing a One Piece villain tier list now. Nuck, we haven't heard anything from you. How you doing, man?
I was talking, but hell yeah.
I didn't hear
I'm excited
words.
for the One Piece villain podcast because I do always prefer a good villain to a good guy. So hell yeah.
The One Piece Villains podcast.
The One Piece villains podcast, where every episode we spend an hour talking about a single One Piece villain. Starting with Alvida.
You would still have like 50 episodes, man.
Yeah.
I know, it'll be great. I'm excited for the Senior Pink episode. It's gonna be exciting.
Right. We could do 5 on Buggy.
Yeah. Before we start, but we should start soon because there's a lot of villains to cover. Definitely, guys, as I always say, share the podcast if you enjoy it. Give us a positive review and spread the word because we keep going. And we got, I think this is episode like 49. Like we're almost at 50 episodes. Maybe even this is episode 50. I kind of spaced. But either way, we've been at this for a while and it's been a lot of fun. So let's keep it going. Let's keep up that energy. Knox, do you feel the energy?
I feel the energy, man. I'm excited.
All right, cool. Let's do this.
And we're starting off with Buggy, who his initial introduction, I remember Animac as the One Piece version really thought he was just going to be a throwaway villain. And
oh my god, yes.
I would agree. His introduction wasn't too flashy, as Buggy likes to say, but we've all come to love him. What are your thoughts, Animac?
So, yeah, when he was first introduced, I thought he would be like a Garlic Jr. type inconsequential villain, right? Because he's a literal clown, bro.
Yo,
like,
Garlic Jr. kept on coming back, bro.
Every person needs to relate to a different One Piece character, and Keemstar needed to relate to someone. So, honestly, I think this makes sense.
I love Buggy.
Also, I want it to be clear, we're not rating them based on their level of villainy. These are all the antagonists in One Piece, and we're ranking them based on the characters that they are.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, for me personally, I would definitely, without even a shadow of a doubt, rank Buggy in S tier.
Let's go.
I unironically think he's a fantastic character, and the way the comedy aspect is definitely a reasoning behind making a character great, and he's hilarious. But also, he is a literal One Piece meme. He is Oda's meme in the verse. He is this dude that became insanely powerful, because of memes. And I'm definitely going to give him S tier. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think it's a great addition to the world, because sometimes the news can be, Usually the news could be misleading.
Yeah, so in terms of Buggy, he's kind of like the first big indication that Oda likes to subvert expectations in terms of characters. Because we often see characters that seem completely like joke characters and inconsequential end up coming back later and being actually important and interesting. And I think Buggy's like the first big example of that. And yeah, like I said, in the first arc when he's introduced, I didn't care for him at all. He seemed like such a one-dimensional douchebag. But then you realize, yo, this guy was on Roger's ship. He knows Shanks. He has, and he has this sort of meme superpower where just by force of clout, he becomes a warlord and eventually probably a Yonko. I don't know what's going to happen, but that's.
I
what
mean,
I'm
I still
expecting.
think he's gonna become the Pirate King.
He might.
PK Buggy. Honestly, he like every arc he's in afterwards, Impel Down, Marineford, he honestly makes it better. He was a Shichibukai, and he just he's just a hilarious character. And fun fact, in the early chapters when he talks about he references Shanks, so we actually see him on a ship and Rayleigh's in the background, like so early on, like the first 20 chapters or so of the manga, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's sick. No, but also it's just so fun, the idea of Buggy, like they're storming Marineford, and Buggy's like, I'm gonna take Whitebeard's head. Goddamn legend.
I know,
Legend.
and Whitebeard is this like literal legend.
Yeah,
of a
right?
pirate, right?
God.
Thank you, Sam D. Gumman, for those gifted subs. Appreciate
Hell
it.
yeah.
Okay, so I would put Buggy in A for now, but you guys both say S?
Yep.
All right, well.
Yo,
Buggy
let's
gets-
go, Nux and Bread.
Buggy
Hell
gets
yeah.
the S tier treatment. Also, we had Alvida. Chat pointed out that we had Alvida even before Buggy, but was she really an antagonist? Like, she was kind of like.
I mean, she was definitely an antagonist. She just wasn't around much.
I
Yeah,
think
she was an antagonist for Kobe, right?
she's also too small of an antagonist for them to include. Because now she's kind of like a side thing to Buggy and
Yeah.
whatever.
What
she was
happened
doing.
to her, man?
I honestly don't even know. Is she still with Buggy?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they reunited.
Let's go.
Because she
Oh,
is, I'd like to see the new Alvida more often. I wouldn't mind seeing her,
Nice. All right, the next we go from an amazing character to Kuro. Woo!
Can you change the D tier to Boruto tier?
Yes.
No, can we change it to Kuro tier?
Oh, GG.
Yeah, Kuro is the guy from Syrup Village, right?
Yeah, absolute garbage character.
Yeah, absolute Boruto tier or Kuro tier, if you will. Possibly my least favorite villain because, unlike the other kind of non-impressive villains, he's not even funny.
No, dude, even in his own arc, Django was cooler. Than
Yeah,
Boruto.
exactly. Django was the funny one. Django was the
God,
funny
I
one.
hated Crow. He was also an idiot. Like,
Yeah.
he gave up his entire life to steal a fortune from an old man.
And it was a 3-year-long plan. It wasn't like, yo, I'm going to get this done in a week. It was like, I'm going to dedicate 3 years of my life to pretending to be like a butler or some shit.
Yeah, goddamn. Wow, pretty bad. Anyway,
Yeah, I think
I'm happy.
Wapple. I think Wapple's better than Kuro.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yes, I agree. Ouch. Oh, that hurts. But
We'll
I
talk,
again-
we'll talk more about Wapple when we get to him.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, we can do that, yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Arlong.
Anyway, next we got Arlong.
Arlong
So,
is next.
despite the Arlong Park arc being fantastic because of like Nami development and stuff,
Yes.
I would say that Arlong is a B tier villain. Like,
Yeah.
he
That was
was
my thought,
okay.
too. That
he was
my thought,
okay.
too.
He was adequate, but I'd
Yeah,
put him in B tier.
My first thought was B as well, because yes, he is this, interesting villain, the first fishman we really get exposure to, and it leads to a lot of interesting things about Fishman Island that we later learn and corroborate. But yeah, in terms of Arlong himself, he's not that deep.
I feel like I appreciate Arlong as a character more once you get to Fishman Island and that
Yeah,
arc
I'm
finishes.
glad you said that. After
Yeah.
Fishman Island, I would say also, but still, I wouldn't put him above B. Like,
Yeah,
even
you-
after Fishman.
After Fishman Island, you understand where he's coming from and why he's so cruel towards humans. But still, yeah, I think B is totally fair for Arlong.
B it is? I think that's fair. Man, this
It
site's
is.
so laggy. What the hell? Oh no, I put Wapple in B. All right, Wapple. I think he is better than Kuro, and I think it's because he actually achieved what he was set out to like. What Oda wanted him to be. Like Oda wanted Wapple to be a piece of shit, horrible human, coward, and only think about himself. And he honestly wanted us to hate him in every way. And he didn't. We didn't even.
Yes.
He didn't even like. I think he achieved that. I genuinely hate him, and I feel like that's why a lot of people say Wapple sucks. Not only because he didn't like really put up a fight against our protagonist very much, but also because he was meant to be this hateable character and to help
bro,
other
I just
characters,
think he was
other
garbage.
characters like Vivi develop.
I mean, I think he was garbage. I mean, I think you're giving him way too much credit. I would probably put him in Boruto tier.
I'm putting
No,
him in C.
I disagree, Nux. I'm going to disagree, Nux, because Wapple, if you look at his cover stories, that's where he kind of gets interesting because he becomes like this successful businessman, and then he ends up creating his own new kingdom, and then he ends up showing up to the Reverie. I actually thought that was kind of cool, knowing what a loser he was initially.
Yeah, like someone just said in chat, Wapple was one shot before the arc even started. Amazing. I don't know why people are so focused on strength. That doesn't make someone a bad character.
Oh yeah, like
I mean, for me, it has nothing to do with strength. I just think
nothing.
he added absolutely nothing to. Drum Island didn't change because Wapple was there.
You don't
and he
think
was the main
Vivi developed
antagonist.
because of Wapple?
No, I don't think Vivi.
no, man.
developed.
I think C
What do
is
you mean?
fair.
It gave her
Wapple did not-
opportunities to.
He didn't even change the arc he's in.
I'm not even saying
He's
he's
the
good.
main
I'm just,
antagonist of Drum Island, and he didn't even affect the arc.
Man, I think C is fair because he's not as bad as Kuro.
well, C's still
Dude,
C's
Luffy
still pretty
climbing a
bad.
mountain. The mountain was a better antagonist by a long shot than the antagonist.
I love
fair.
that scene where Luffy climbs the mountain.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Wapple's Boruto tier, but like if you two both vote C, I'm happy with him in C. I don't really care, but I would vote Boruto.
Okay, it's C.
See, it is.
All right. Well, next, Mr. One.
Mr. One. He was badass, but other than that, he's not. I don't know.
Das Bones.
C.
I would put him in C tier.
Yeah, I would also put him in C. Like he's no better than Wapple in my opinion.
Well, I think he is better than Wapple.
Well, like he's
At least he
stronger
was
than
good. He had a
Wapple,
good
but-
fight with Zoro, but he was.
Do we see Don Krieg here anywhere? Could we skip them?
Well, I don't see the whole screen.
Well,
so
we're
we'll
not
have-
going in order.
It's okay. We'll get to him when we get to him. 'Cause I do not see Don Krieg.
If he shows up.
If he even shows up, I'd probably put him.
And I'm
C.
glad they. Yo, if Bon Clay would have been here, I would have put him in S.
Yeah, but he only is temporarily an antagonist.
Yeah. Well, next we got a cool antagonist, Crocodile.
Croco boy.
So,
So I
you know
think
what?
he is a good antagonist. I
He
like
is
him a lot.
good. I would put him in A, man. I would put him in A.
I mean, he's a James Bond villain. I would also put him in A.
I think A's fair.
Yeah, because he is not just a villain with an interesting power, which he does have, and he just wants to destroy the world because he's a villain. He has an intricate plan. He has an alter ego. He's been working on this stuff behind the scenes. I thought, like I said, Alabasta was like the perfect arc, and part of the reason was because Croco Boy was a great villain.
I also
villain with-
appreciate the Crocodile after the fact even more because once they abolished the Shichibukai system, it all stemmed. The first time we saw how flawed of a system it was back in Alabasta. And you got the political
also, it was
aspects, you
nice-
got his
I'm
secret
not gonna
plan,
lie.
him using the government. Like, it was great.
It was nice to see Croco Boy come back and Impel Down too.
It was.
Yes.
And that just shows how, like, he's a likable character in some ways. That, like, you actually like the fact that he comes back later.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
dude,
he
if they
actually-
would have gone to Impel Down, gone to the bottom layer, and they would have found Kuro there, I would have.
Yeah, like you with Croco, you actually have his whole like you can see where he's coming from. You can see what his beliefs are, what he's planning to do. He's multidimensional.
He's pretty Machiavellian.
I hate
Exactly.
the fact that like he has that the trope where I'm gonna leave you alive. I'm gonna
Yeah.
throw
Well,
you
that's
here.
the
And
James Bond thing.
you're gonna drown in sand. I'm gonna have my crocodiles eat you. I
That's
fucking
literally
hate
the
it.
James Bond.
Okay,
That's
they
literally
weren't
James Bond.
crocodiles, they were banana gators, get it right. But yes.
I hate
Briggs.
it.
That's
I
literally the
hate it.
James Bond reference there. Briggs.
That's why I'm saying he's the James Bond villain of One Piece.
It being a James
Yeah.
Bond reference made me dislike him a little bit.
Well, that's the way the James Bond movies were, especially back in the day. They were very like kind of cringe in that sense, but back in the day that was interesting because
I did like the fact that he had that like that mafia boss vibe type thing. going for him.
Well, he definitely had the mafia boss vibe. He has the whole cigar thing
Yeah, I
and
love
the
it.
coat. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Also, what was his goal? He wanted to get the ancient weapon.
Yeah.
Alabasta introduced a lot of cool things.
And he
He
wanted
did.
to
Alabasta
rule.
was
He
good.
wanted to rule Alabasta too.
Yeah, you know, little things like taking over countries and stuff. You know how it is.
Pretty small.
Yeah.
Well, at least
Inconsequential. when
it's
you
not
think
as
about
cool as Kuro's treasure hunt.
Man, we really are jumping around all over the place. Next up, we got Kaido.
it. Yo, our boy. Kaido. So what are your thoughts, gamers?
So far, like I don't think he's any better than Arlong. Like I would put him in B tops.
I think I almost want to give him an A just because he's a Yonko, but that's a weak mindset. I do like the fact that he like
We
wants an
need a
honorable
Kaido
death.
backstory.
We need a Kaido.
backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Until we get the backstory, it's hard to see him as a fully fleshed out character.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I'd put him in B tier for now as well, just because he's backstoryless.
Everyone in chat's saying A.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
at least he's more badass than
Look,
Big Mom.
He's badass and he's powerful, but that's not gonna make him a good villain. I'd put him in B until he gets a backstory.
Yeah, I think he's done the
anime.
minimum requirements to be like he's a good Yonko so far, but he needs
He's
to be
too strong so
Yeah.
far.
Yep.
Yeah,
He's
and
a strong drunk guy.
chat, this is how you learn that democracy doesn't work. Because we have Kaido in B, even though you wanted A.
Everyone in chat says A, but you're all wrong.
All right, Sengoku.
Okay, so Sengoku kind of sucks, man.
I like him, but that's the thing. He's not really an antagonist. Like, technically he is because he's a Marine, but he's actually kind of a good guy.
I mean, yeah,
Within
but
the
he
Marine.
turned into Big Fat Buddha Man against the Luffy squad in Marineford.
Yeah, like even pre-retirement, like wasn't he supposed to be? He was the fleet admiral, correct?
Yeah.
So you'd expect him to have a larger role than someone like Aikenu or Aokiji and stuff, and he really didn't have much
Well, he
impact on the
stepped
story.
down.
He did step down because he was close to retirement, and I get it. But I wish he had more impact on the story.
I'd put him in B tier also, to be honest. I think for his time as fleet admiral, he did fine. And
I'm gonna say
like,
C.
Yeah, I'm also going to say C as an antagonist, but I think he has
we're not
more
ranking
potential.
them as antagonists.
No, we are.
No, we're not. You can't rank Buggy as an antagonist and put him in
This
S
is-
tier.
These are the villain/antagonists we've chose, or the tier list chose, and
Okay.
let's rank them as characters.
Rank
Okay,
them as
cool.
characters.
I get it. Okay, understood. So yeah, I would still rank him at C just because we don't know that much about him. But I will say that I think his character has potential to develop because I feel like with Sword and stuff, something is brewing that's going to become relevant in the future.
I mean, I respect it. I'm not upset if you put him in C. I hear it. But whatever.
Yo, next up we got Foxy.
Foxy, our boy. Okay, all right. Straight up, Foxy. C or B? He might be B
I'm
tier.
giving Foxy a B, bro. Underrated arc, and I enjoyed. I was thoroughly entertained.
yeah,
I was also thorough. You know what? He's a pirate that's very Machiavellian, and I would agree with you, Briggs. I would put him in B tier.
Let's go.
yeah, I think a lot of
Kaido and Foxy side by side.
I think a lot of people hate on Foxy a lot because I'm guessing it's because they watched the anime, which was really dragged out apparently. But I thought that arc, the
Davy back fight.
Davy back fight, it was thoroughly entertaining. Like it wasn't as consequential as the other arcs, although we did get the whole Aokiji moment right at the end of that.
Yep.
But I actually thought Foxy was hilarious, and I thought that arc was hilarious, and it actually had me invested. Like I was frustrated with all the cheating. I was like, "Yo, Zoro and Sanji are winning and fighting each other at the same time." Like I was laughing.
Yeah,
We had
Afro Luffy.
Afro Luffy, bro. No, yeah, I think Foxy is a solid B.
Let's
No
go.
Let's
lie.
go.
Let's go.
Hell yeah. All
Like,
right, next we
Foxy
got
could probably beat Kaido.
Bro,
Probably.
those what was his
those
devil fruit
photon
called?
beams move at light speed. What are
Yeah,
you
they move at light speed, bro. What is this other guy's name? I don't know.
Spandam.
Uh,
Was that Spandam?
Spandam.
Oh god. Oh, there we go. Another Boruto tier.
Boruto tier. You know what? No, I wouldn't say Boruto. I'd say C tier.
No, Boruto.
Like, let me hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
He's the obnoxious rich boy prick with a lot of power in his button, but not a lot of power in any other way, and he abuses it by being the privileged prick that he is. And I approve of his prickness, and I would say C tier. Not Boruto. I think he did his job well.
He should have been more of a prick. I think he should have been more of a prick.
I think that Oda wanted us to dislike him,
of course,
100% and all that.
Absolutely.
But I still think
I don't see how you could put him below Wapol, to be honest.
Well, he's not like he's a completely one-dimensional villain, and that's what he's supposed to be.
Unlike Wapol.
But I think that deserves a Boruto. No, bro, because Wapol becomes a successful businessman and ruler of another kingdom.
That doesn't improve Wapol for me. I just think Wapol really did his job in making me hate him, and I think Spandam could have been a little bit more of a prick.
Yeah, Spandam was just a joke, like a meme. But not a good meme.
I really don't care. Like,
I mean, they're very close. This is like a board. Like I still like Spandam better than Kuro, which is hilarious.
Oh, way better than Kuro.
That's why I put him in front of him. But they're very close. It's like a C- versus like a Boruto plus here.
Right. Well, next we got Giraffe Zord.
You know what? His character was decent.
C.
I'm a Briggs.
C.
Khalifa. B for Bobs.
Yeah, B for Bubble Bath.
Bubble Bath Bobs.
I mean, I'd also say C.
Yeah, I think Khalifa. C's fair. I'm putting it C. I was just trolling.
Oh, I think Khalifa deserves B because she is a very well-developed character.
All right, we'll put her in C.
Can we just get a B? Can we just get a B for Khalifa, please?
Dude, I can't move these around. This site sucks.
You gotta think about that twist that we got with these guys. Like, she was this secretary. She was all friendly with everyone, like friendly in a way where she was attacking them for sexual harassment, but as a joke. But the fact, like, I did not see it coming that all of these people.
Yeah, but that doesn't make
double
them
lives.
like. That doesn't make them great characters. Like, do you give a crap about Giraffe Guy right now?
No, but I do give a crap about Khalifa because.
So it has nothing to do with the fact that they were like twist villains.
No, but it was like, do you like the character? And I like her character, and part of that is her design and personality, not just the fact that her powers. Although, like I said, bro, in this world of COVID, like, her power is extremely useful.
Yeah, but the One Piece world doesn't have COVID
yet.
So I'm a strong advocate for B for Khalifa in B.
All right, well, you lose. Anyway, next we have. I was gonna call you the S word, but then I remembered we might get banned on Twitch. Next we have Monet.
Can we put Khalifa behind Sengoku, please? She doesn't deserve to be behind Giraffe, bro.
I'll put her next to Mr.
Okay.
Yeah, ahead of Mr. One.
I don't agree with that.
I really don't. Who cares?
Nuts, what do you think? Where do you want her?
I would put her behind Mr. One just to annoy Anime.
I'll tell her where I want her.
I'd probably give her a D. If you know what I mean.
Anyway,
all right.
If you guys are upset about me simping for Khalifa, then you shouldn't have been watching a podcast called The One Piece Virgin.
Man, Twitch probably loves us right now. Where are we putting Monet, boys?
Hey, I'm allowed to call myself a simp for Khalifa. Like, fuck up.
No, you're not. Imagine. All right. Monet, I'll probably give her like above Sengoku in C.
Yeah, Monet's a C for sure. Like.
Yeah, I'd put Monet in C.
She had that impactful moment at the end of Punk Hazard, but she wasn't really a big presence.
Her best moment was getting cut in half by Zoro.
Yeah.
Which turns out to be Zoro's moment.
Yes. Okay, Gekkomoria.
Let's go. Look at this neck. Okay. Look at this Chad.
Look at this Chad. I'm not going to lie to you. I would have definitely said C, but hold on a second. The amount of laughs that I had from the amount of L's that this man has taken over his course in this story, the fact that he was slapped by Kaido and then says, I will have zombies, and then defeat Kaido. And then he gets slapped by Doflamingo, so barely escapes with his life, gets slapped by Blackbeard.
Oh my god!
I'd put him in B tier.
I want to make a tier that's just F, just to pay my respects to Moria here.
Just F for poor Gekkomoria.
I'm giving Moria a C.
I'd put him in B. Just
Yeah, I would give
because-
Moria a C, and I would put him like right behind Giraffe Guy. I'm not a big fan of Gekkomoria at all.
Right behind
Gekkomoria.
Giraffe. You know what? Since Nux said B, I feel like we gotta put her like right behind Khalifa. You know?
No, I think you should put him at the beginning of C tier at least. What a legend.
No,
Ah,
he's not better than Sengoku.
I'm kidding. I don't care. I'm kidding.
dude.
Yo, I give him a mercy.
I
B
wish
rank,
Oda made us
okay?
care about someone that took that many L's, but I really don't.
Yeah,
I
but
don't really care
sometimes
about
not
Moria.
every villain can be an incredible badass. Sometimes they gotta
It's true.
take L's.
Kizaru.
And he does have a really cool. He does have a really cool devil fruit.
Borsalino Kizaru.
I like him because he's Italian, and that's the devil fruit that I would choose to have in our world.
Yeah, he's very intriguing. I really like him.
Respect.
Neither of which help him make him a better
Wait.
character.
No, but
Yeah.
I think he is a good character. Actually, I think that he has an interesting philosophy. Like he believes in lazy justice, but I like him. I actually like Kizaru. I'm not gonna lie. For me, it would be A or B.
His facial expressions and mannerisms are hilarious.
Oh man, I love his facial expressions and
Wait,
mannerisms. And-
wait. He's not lazy justice.
He-
Uh,
You're thinking of Aokiji.
no, which one is he? I think he's lazy justice.
No.
Aokiji's
Aokiji's
more lazy justice, but he's kind of lazy too, a little bit. Regardless, I'm gonna give him a nice B.
No, you're right. You're
Unclear
right.
justice.
Aokiji's
People are
lazy.
saying
He's
unclear
justice. You're right.
What does that even mean?
I have no idea. But I
It's
like him
unclear.
anyway.
Yeah, I
It's
think he
unclear.
is. He's definitely a nice B because he's been very underexplored still. He's just kind of like been.
But also, he did have a pretty epic moment when on Shabody, he came in, wiped out all of the.
Yeah, so he's very
boys.
badass. It's just like we don't know much about him at all, other than he's clearly going to be relevant later on.
Look, if you put him in B, I won't complain. I'm not sure if I would say A, but okay. Respect. Anyway, next is Fujitora, and he's definitely A tier.
Yes, I agree.
I love Fujitora. Absolute
He's
legend.
he's very cool character, and clearly there's more to him. He has
Well,
an actual sense of right and wrong.
yeah, he bans the warlords. His fight with Zoro was pretty sick, even though it was 2 seconds.
Yeah, and he has an amazing devil fruit.
Yeah, true. But I like that this dude's actually like taking strides to make the world a better place. Unlike
yeah, exactly. I do like that too. Like he
I love
knows
him.
that the
I think
system
he's
is corrupt. He's working through a system that he knows is corrupt, but he's determined to make a difference. And also, he killed all the dinosaurs.
yes, true. That's canon.
All right. Yeah, I'm saying A.
I'm also saying
Fujitora
A.
A.
Briggs, you here?
I'm back, Briggs.
Welcome back. A tier Fujitora.
I agree with that. Slightly better than Kizaru.
More
Yeah,
than
definitely
slightly.
better.
Yeah, he just got the. I'm sure you guys already talked about it. I really had to use the bathroom.
No, it's all good, bro. We know.
He's got the whole. He wanted to abolish the Shichibukai. He's super badass. I liked his little interaction with Luffy on Dressrosa. I agree. I'm gonna give him a nice A.
Hell yeah.
Also, this guy is from One Piece film Gold next,
Yeah, I never watched it.
and he's like C.
Okay.
Maybe I'd give him a B just to be generous, but sure, I'll give
Yeah,
him
let's
top
just
of
do
C.
let's just do canon, guys. You don't need to do them.
I don't know who he is, so whatever. Anyway, next we got Smoker, and I think Smoker's definitely A tier.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call him an antagonist.
Well,
Yeah.
he definitely
Literally-
started as an antagonist.
Yeah, he literally teams up with Luffy, like not officially, but pretty much.
But I like the idea that he sees that he sees the world in shades of gray. Like originally he was out to get every pirate, but then saw that Luffy saved Alabasta and let him go. I don't know. I respect him. Easy A. I respect
Yeah.
the lad.
I also think he's an A. I like him about as much as Fujitora. I think the two of them are both interesting marine characters. Really interesting.
Agreed. Next we got the Blackbeard.
Oh, Blackbeard, bro. He might be my favorite villain in the entire thing. For me, he's S for sure.
1000%.
Like at the end, we might learn that this whole story was the story of Blackbeard, how Blackbeard became the greatest hero. I mean,
Yeah, right.
Pirate King.
I mean, he has a D in his name. Dude, why'd you put the sword to Shiryu in S tier?
It was an accident. This site sucks.
Get rid of him.
Dude, I'm just so excited to see more with Blackbeard. And
Yeah,
Blackbeard
I know.
with
Like,
Shanks.
imagine a whole arc. Imagine a whole arc dealing with Blackbeard and like
it depends
his
where
crazy plan. Like, what is he planning?
Where his plan goes.
God, you know that people actually genuinely like Kaido more than Blackbeard. How could you?
That's
what?
Ridiculous.
How?
I don't understand.
Well, I mean, I know
Blackbeard
people who like Kobe more than Blackbeard, but so you could have preference.
Blackbeard's been there since Skypiea, and he's been so interesting, and he's just kind of like getting little bits and pieces, and it's like he's planning all this stuff, and he's got these crazy powers that no one can explain, and he encourages Luffy in his dream, even though Luffy is his competition, and even though he ends up resulting in Ace's death, Ace being killed. He's so interesting. He was a warlord only to betray the government. Now he's a Yonko, and like he's just been in the background planning all this stuff. He's so fascinating, and he's a D, which is going to be important. And there's the whole rocks connection, the Zebek stuff. It's like, bruh, can't wait to find out more.
Dude, I love Blackbeard. I think he's a great antagonist, and even more than that, he's a fantastic foil to Luffy.
Yes.
And S tier for sure. But Shiryu, we cannot say the same for Shiryu.
Who is Shiryu? I don't even remember.
He's Blackbeard's swordsman guy that got Absalom's invisible fruit, and he used to be a guy that worked at Impel Down, but became too vicious.
Oh yeah, he's like a C.
We haven't gotten enough from him yet, really. But
yeah, C tier for now. We don't know anything about him.
He's still already better than Moria, though. But he doesn't have Bob, so less than Khalifa. Okay.
Respect.
Akainu.
Akainu.
I'm giving Akainu a solid S, man.
What? I wouldn't. I don't agree with that. I mean, I respect you, but I don't agree with that. What would you say?
I would give Akainu a strong A.
What are you thinking, Nux? Are you in the A department?
I'm swaying between A and B, but I would.
No, I think he's definitely an A because he is this like overpowered maniac. He's got this absolute justice.
I approve. I love that
idea.
The thing about Akainu is I love the ideology that he embodies, but I don't like him as a character.
I do. I like the thing is, again, just like
most of the time, people who are like that,
he hasn't been.
People don't like them.
He hasn't been like. Just like with Kizaru, he hasn't been explored enough yet, but I feel like he will be relevant in the coming arcs when the big shit goes down.
Of course.
Well, happy to put him in A tier.
I think that's very fair. I wish we get like a little bit of a backstory or some development for him. I just love his ideology and how like 100% like he is with it. You know? All right.
Yeah.
I was thinking of a joke that might get me canceled, so I won't say it. You're welcome, gamers.
Thanks.
Anyway, Pirona.
Some funny moments with Pirona.
I'd put her in B tier, actually. I think she's better than your typical, crony.
I agree. B sounds good to me.
I think her fight with Usopp was also fantastic.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
And her moments with Zoro and Mihawk, also great.
And you know that Mihawk is hitting that, so,
Wait, what the? Is Mihawk not on this tier list?
He's not, because this is a villain one.
I like Mihawk. I would have put him in A tier.
I put Mihawk in S just because I'm such a stan for Mihawk.
All right, what are you guys thinking about Virgo?
All right, Virgo. C tier.
Really, a C for Virgo?
I thought he was pretty meh. I did not care about him at all.
He to me he's below Wapol by a lot.
What?
Like Wapol
he's below Wapol?
Yes.
Okay, I wouldn't put him below Wapol. I'd probably also put him above Giraffe Boy. But
bro, all I remember about Virgo is he's the guy with like food on his face, right?
He's the dude that Law cut in half along with the island.
I'd probably give him a B, but sure.
Fuck Virgo, bro.
He's not great.
No, he's pretty not great. Like, as far as villains go, the extent that I could tell you about him is he's a Marine that's corrupt. but that's it. Of course,
Yeah.
you put him in the beginning of C.
And like he's just like a
Well, I
he's
voted
just
a B,
one
so
of
it's
the
got to move him up a little bit here.
No,
he's just one of the many people.
I don't care.
Ooh.
Briggs.
He's just one of the many people who kind of works for our boy Dofi.
Yo, how did Kuma end up there by accident? Sorry, boys. Kuma. Where are you guys putting Kuma?
Oh, flip! I love Kuma. Maybe S tier. S
I
or
feel like
A for me.
once we find out more, he could go up to S. It was so impactful seeing him still guarding the Going Merry or the Thousand Sunny, my bad. But I think I'm gonna make him an
Yeah.
A for now.
Yeah, so Kuma is such a fascinating character, and I love the mystery behind him. I would want to know that mystery before I put him in S, so I would
Yeah.
put him in A too.
Exactly.
All right, A it is.
Magellan.
I would also maybe I don't know A or B.
Magellan, I think he's a high B. Like I wouldn't put him much ahead.
Yeah,
Of,
I'm with you.
He's like
Ed, Nick. I
Arlong.
agree. High B. I'd
yeah,
put him
exactly.
above
Like Arlong or Kaido, it's that level. He's
I'd put him
cool. He's
above.
badass.
All right.
He's funny because
Caesar!
I low-key love Caesar.
don't
I
scream that.
love Caesar. Caesar boys, yo, Animec, what's your thoughts on Caesar now? Because I remember you hated him.
Meh. My thoughts are meh.
Where
I
would
love
you-
him. He's so funny.
I mean, I wouldn't put him in S, but he's hilarious.
Caesar to me is like a lamer Buggy.
Could you? Well, that's true because Buggy's like he's the zenith.
Yeah, like I like Gastino though. I'm a big fan of
Like,
Gastino.
well, I'm not a huge fan of Usopp, but I love Sogeking.
Exactly, bro.
All right.
Okay, Caesar is a horrible person. And with that said, I would put him in A tier.
Bro, I would put him at like the bottom of B tier. Very
Brig?
bottom.
A tier, let's go. He's a
I'm
funny
thinking
man.
if I should give him an A or a B here.
Bro,
Because like
Pirona
it's so
is
it
cooler
makes
than
so much
Caesar.
sense that he's pressured by people like Kaido and Big Mom, and does their bidding.
And it's his insecurity that he keeps getting, beaten by Vegapunk that drove him to this insanity.
Mhm.
I get it. I get it. And I like how he's kind of been tagging along by accident with every group. He's stuck with Law, then he's stuck with Dofi, stuck with Luffy, stuck with Beige. This poor man gets kidnapped every 2 seconds.
Yeah, that makes him an A tier. Yes.
A tier, let's go.
Great logic as usual.
I think I'm gonna
Yes.
give him a top of B.
Okay.
Top of yeah, all right. But it's still like you think he's better than Arlong or Kaido. I don't.
Well,
yeah.
I'm just saying because Nux gave him an A, I gave him a B, and you gave him a C, right?
No, he said
Yes.
A. No, he said B.
No, I said bottom of B. Sorry.
All right, so he ends up at top of B.
Yeah. Anyway, next, Judge. I like Judge. She's cool. B tier.
He's C for me. High C because he's still very, very minor character.
I think Judge is definitely B tier. The way he treated Sanji and how that impacted Sanji's life, the whole story. And then meeting him again and getting some really good moments with him, actually approving of Sanji, and Sanji not wanting his approval. I like Judge's character. I'd definitely put him in B.
Yeah, I think B's fair. Put him right below Kaido, but above Foxy.
Let's go.
No, fuck that, bro. Foxy and Kizaru are better than that dude.
We haven't seen anything with Kizaru. We don't know. We don't know
Still-
nothing about
he's
him.
still better than Judge. He's not even a good judge of character.
Ugh. Anyway, next we got Hody Jones. Boruto tier?
Yes.
Let's go!
Right
I
above
know-
Kuro,
I know he's
but
got-
below
he's
Spandam.
Yeah, like Hody has that whole racism
Dude, I like the
story,
theme.
but I don't care. But I don't care
The
about
thing
him.
is,
As a,
I
as
like
a
the
character.
theme of racism in the freaking Fishman Island arc, but I don't like Hody.
And I actually love the
exactly.
fact that Hody didn't actually experience it firsthand. It was secondhand. Like it was passed down to him. This hate. I did love that, but nothing about his character made me love that. I just love the fact that that was the theme that he was going for. You know what? I'm gonna give him a C.
I would put freaking Vanderdecken above Hody.
I'm gonna give
Probably.
I'm gonna give Hody at top of Boruto. Fair?
No, you spanned him like that.
Fuck Span.
Yeah, I think it's fair to put him at the top. But like, Spandam just sucks ass.
Enel, boys.
Okay. Enel, boys. I like Enel.
I love the whole god thing they went with.
Yeah, I like him too. I do want him to have more of a, like more dimensions to his character, but we might see more of him later in the story.
Divine judgment.
B?
No, A, bro, get out of here.
Yeah, I'd put him A, bottom of A.
Okay.
Dude, the Moon arc was a thing too, by the way.
No, I know, but in the Moon arc,
pan out yet.
yeah, all we get to see him is go there and kind of take control.
As far as antagonists in One Piece, I don't think they built up any character to be as invincible as Enel. Like, even Kaido doesn't give off that air of invincibility that Enel had before Luffy fought him. And I don't think any villain was created and curated to that degree in all of One Piece.
No, yeah, he's great.
I mean,
I
Kaido
really
seems
like
pretty invincible, man.
I mean, yes and no. He has a scar. He was injured. Luffy affected him with his punch. Like, I mean, yes, he seems crazy strong.
I mean,
Enel
the second
gave
I knew
off
Enel's
a
ability,
vibe-
I'm like, well, Luffy's rubber.
Well, I didn't. He gave off this vibe of invincibility. Aside from being faster, being able to smite down anyone on the Sky Island, and no one was coming to help them either. Like, I could see them fighting Kaido for, a month, and then Blackbeard shows up, and helps out, That could happen. Everyone's paying attention to Wano. They were in this little capsule where this dude Enel is just all powerful. I like Enel. I would say A.
Oh, he's an A because you and Adamek voted. I'm thinking like top of B. I could see him in A. Anyway, Doflamingo, we all know it's an easy S, right, boys?
Oh, yeah. He's the highest S. I'd put him at the top of S. I'd put him above Blackbeard.
I think I'm more excited for Blackbeard, but we haven't seen where this is going.
I'm more excited for Blackbeard because we already had Dofi's arc.
Yeah, that is a good point, Briggs. I also think that from what we've seen so far, Dofi has been the best villain, but I'm more excited to see the future for Blackbeard.
Okay, but that's because we already got Dofi's arc, man. Dofi, yes. I think, is... When crafting a good villain, like, if anyone wants to take lessons in how to write a villain, study Doflamingo.
Yeah, you could say that he's Machiavellian.
I would say that, in fact. Yes. Just this guy's backstory. God, I love Doflamingo so much. Easily.
Yeah, and the whole relationship between him and Law through Corazon and stuff. Yeah, it's all great.
This dude, the way he was born as a celestial dragon, his father going back and forth, and him... Oh, God! His development! You saw his character progression, his greater goals.
Using his devil fruit in such a villainous way, like manipulating the king and making him like be viewed like whatever so terribly by everyone and stuff. Like just the pure manipulation too. Oh, I love it.
No mercy.
Yeah, man. I'm easily top of S tier for me. Doflamingo is a masterpiece of a character.
All right, Senior Pink.
Senior Pink.
I'm gonna vote S. I don't care. I love him.
Yeah, me too, man. I like him just as much, at least as much as Buggy. So you guys put Buggy in S, then Senior Pink goes in S. I don't go.
I would put him below Buggy, but I do love Senior Pink.
For a side character to have that amazing and like emotional backstory. But you know what? But even before the backstory, I'm like, I already liked him. He was already kind of cool.
He's hard-boiled.
Despite looking the way he does and dressing the way he does, I liked him before the backstory. I don't know how they pulled it off. And then with the backstory, I fucking loved him.
Dude, him having his Chad off with
Frankie?
Frankie was legendary.
Unreal.
Yeah, I love it. And I loved how this was another example of the Buggy thing where you see a character, you're like, this guy's a joke character. He's a joke character. And then Oda subverts that by doing the whole, like, actually, he has an amazing fucking backstory and he's a great dude. And he's a Chadly Chad.
Hell yeah. Well, anyway, next is Absalom. Speaking of Chadly Chads, this guy goes in C tier for Chad.
Right below
Yeah,
Wapple.
Absalom is a C for sure.
You know what? I'd put him in Boruto tier. I take it back.
Boruto
I'd put him in
tier.
Boruto tier.
You know what? I'm cool with
Well,
that.
Absalom at least appreciates Nami, so I'd put him in C.
No, I'd vote Boruto tier. I think he's
And he has a cool power.
I'm down
which
for
gets
Boruto.
stolen. Yeah, Boruto tier. Anyway, Candy,
Sugar.
Oh,
Sugar. Thank you,
That-
Brig.
that could easily be Boruto as well, man.
At least she had
I
some
don't agree.
impact to Dressrosa.
Yeah,
I don't agree.
Her devil fruit was definitely important to Dressrosa, but her as an actual character, she was just basically comedic relief. She was she was a joke essentially.
I'm gonna give
Well,
her
I mean, I'd put
top
her
of
in
C.
C tier.
middle of
tier as
C.
well.
I don't know. Top of C.
Then very bottom of C.
Really?
Very bottom of C. Yes.
I'll put
I'd
it
put her
below
in C
Khalifa.
tier also. She was at least an impactful character.
Do not put her before Khalifa.
All right. Slightly overrated character in my opinion. What's his name?
Yo, let's go! It's Spittin' Facts Brig!
I mean, I love
Rob
the fight.
Lucci.
I love the Rob
Lucci.
Luffy versus Luffy fight. That doesn't make Rob Lucci a fantastic character.
I know that people love Lucci so much.
How could you not like a guy named Roberto Lucci?
Alright, S tier.
No, not Esther. Fuck
No,
off.
joke. I was kidding. I was kidding.
Oh, okay. After all these years of knowing you, I still sometimes fall for your bait.
I apologize. I'm sorry. I don't know. A or B for
I'll
me.
give him a B. He's
Yeah,
more-
I think he's a solid B. I would put him at the top of B.
I'd probably put
He's
him like
cool. He talks to pigeons.
I would also put him at the top of B if I wouldn't vote A. Or I would put him at the bottom of A.
I wouldn't say he's as good as Anel, and Anel is our bottom of A right now.
Well, I think he's better than everyone in B, and you know what? All right, I'm with B. Yeah, he's no better than
all right.
Kaido.
But
If
top
he's
of-
better than
top of B.
then I'll put him on top of B.
All
All
right.
right.
I vote
Aokiji.
B also. Aokiji's amazing. I love him.
Yes.
A or S? I say A.
A or S? Wait, you
Aokiji's
said-
another guy that I want to know more about his backstory and what his deal is. But yeah, he's a high A for me so far, I think.
We need more from him, right? We got to see what he's doing currently. Apparently, he's
I
with the
was-
Blackbeard Pirates. Is that true?
Nah.
Apparently. I don't
I
know. That's what
think-
someone told me in chat.
think
They're like,
he's
how
a-
did you not know that? I'm like, what?
I would put him ahead of Fujitora, but behind Croco for now.
Wait, so you both said A?
Yeah, I'm like above Croco Boy or like
I
around
don't know.
Croco
I
Boy.
think I would. I don't know. I'm thinking S.
No, man, but we've still had such limited interactions with him, though.
Yeah, but still, every interaction, you got to think of how impactful every single time he's on screen, man. Like, from meeting Luffy and, letting them go and then biking away to after Impel Down, not Impel Down, to after Ennis Lobby, meeting them all by that party, talking to Robin, letting Robin go. Dude, just showing up at Punk Hazard, saving Smoker.
Yo, fun theory. Do you think? Okay, well, my theory: Aokiji versus Akainu, fake fight. Aokiji's undercover right now, and he had to do the fight, and they just transformed the island to make it believable. That way, he could infiltrate Blackbeard.
Huge brain. I like it, but I have a problem with it, and that is that I do genuinely think that Aokiji. You know what it could have been? It could have been a real fake fight. Like, whoever wins becomes admiral, a fleet admiral. Whoever loses goes undercover.
Yeah, I think that's possible because their
Maybe
ideologies are so
But
different,
I do
right?
think they clashed full force because their ideologies are so diametrically opposed, and also he lost a leg.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
and
lost a leg and a hand. Well then.
I do think that Aokiji genuinely dislikes Akainu.
Oh, I just came up with the theory right now. I did not remember the leg or hand thing. I mean, maybe that's the extent you need to go undercover as a former admiral.
Like I said, I would put him right behind Croco Boy, high A,
Yeah,
above Fujitora.
I agree
But
with that.
we haven't had a whole arc. We haven't had a whole arc for him, so you're comparing him to someone like Dofi and S tier. Not yet.
It is.
Now I know I'm a
Yeah.
hypocrite because I put Senor Pink in S tier, and we had
Well, we did
the
get
least
Senior
screen
Pink's
time.
whole story.
Yeah, like I think if you do compare in terms of how much screen time he got and how impactful it was, Senor Pink is like one of the best characters in One Piece.
Well, in that case, I would say Kuzan is one of the best characters. I'd say screen time wise, percentage wise, I think that Aokiji was better than Senor Pink. Just every single time this man was on screen, he took my breath away.
I don't
But
like
anyway-
Aokiji nearly as much as Senor Pink, so I can't agree.
Okay. But anyway, Pudding.
Good one.
You guys know
here.
that I really like Pudding.
Okay, B tier.
Yeah, I think she's B.
I'm okay with B.
Bottom of B at max.
I just
Yeah,
feel like
for me.
it would have been unfortunate. It's unfortunate we never saw her power like actually do anything.
Yeah, it could.
You know
It had
what?
so much potential for like fun writing.
I would put Pudding ahead of Pirona.
I wouldn't.
Okay. I wouldn't, but whatever.
So we won't.
So we won't. Let's go. Katakuri for me is easily S tier.
Easy yes.
Without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, do I say Katakuri is S tier?
Yeah, to me he's A. I think you guys overhype Katakuri, but
I
that's
think
my
that
opinion.
is the weakest of mindsets. Katakuri is my top 5 characters in all of One Piece, and I would put him above Blackbeard.
It's just a mochi ball, bro.
True.
I'd probably put him. Yeah,
Definitely not
around Blackbeard level.
Blackbeard, like fuck off, bro. Not even.
Well, we can't put him above anyway because Mac gave him an A, so he can't be like top tier in S. We're averaging out.
Yeah, like it was a great fight between him and Luffy, but that doesn't make him the best character in One Piece.
It really embodied the entire arc, though, that fight, so well.
I think that Katakuri, all in all, is a fantastic character, and I'm looking forward to seeing him again.
I agree with that.
Who's this next character?
Yeah, it doesn't look canon.
I have no clue.
C
I've seen Bob.
tier.
I'm seeing some Bobs though.
Okay, B tier.
B for Bob. B for Bob.
The next. Okay, this dude was ass. Okay, can we put him in Boruto tier? Sanji's brothers were all garbage.
Yeah, they weren't very good. I mean, at least they did their job. Nah, not even.
There didn't even
No.
need to be more than one of them. Like they were.
No, screw them.
useless.
Like the sister was
Oh,
much. more-
everyone's saying that it's Amande Charlotte from Big Mom's. I don't even remember her, man.
See,
Man, me neither.
worse than Wapple. I don't know who she is.
I'd put her in Boruto tier. I don't even remember her.
We remember Wapple. We argued
Yeah,
about
if you're
Wapple.
if you're
Yes,
not
so put her in
memorable at all,
Boruto
then-
tier. I genuinely don't even remember this lady.
Okay. Jack the Ripper.
Let's go, Jack the Jobber. My boy loses every fight. C tier.
Yeah, he's a C tier just because he's kind of funny.
He's kind of funny.
Otherwise,
What did he mean?
Boruto.
Was he intended to be funny?
Yes,
No.
I think so.
I don't know if that's true.
I think
Dude, I love how it's like, what a legend. He actually beats all the minks, but we give more importance to the fact that he took an L from the elephant.
no. I think from Oda, I think in terms of Oda, he would say that
Why did you do that?
he does intentionally want him to.
L
look
tier.
bad.
Yo, Moria. And you're legend. I agree. Put Moria. What? An F? No. No. Dead.
The paper specs. All right, we got.
I would put both of them in the same tier, in the F tier. I would do that.
I
Or
agree.
the L tier. Get rid of the F tier. Put them both in the L tier.
Oh my god. Okay.
Who else do we have?
This is
All
like
right, who is
Shiki or
this guy?
something.
Oh, Shiki, lion guy. I didn't watch the movie, so I don't really know.
I don't remember.
Let's go to
Well,
Big Mom.
okay.
then.
Not do it. Big Mom.
Big Mom.
She's pretty big. Beast starts with big. Bottom of B.
You know, I think I would put her in A tier at the bottom of A tier.
I'd probably put her at B, bro.
I'm sorry, you cut out Animac? I didn't hear where you said you put her.
Bottom of A tier.
Nah, I don't
Behind
know.
an
about
L.
that
Because
word.
I really like Big Mom. I like how insane she is, how she's a force of nature, how she is, rationality and stuff doesn't play any role in her life, seemingly. and yet she's such
Yeah, I
a
put her in B tier.
and she's such a master manipulator. She's the ultimate MILF also. And I like the whole Olinlin thing storyline. I actually like that. I thought, seeing her as a good person was fascinating.
I mean, read chapter 1001 and tell me you like Big Mom more than Kaido, and I'll slap you.
All right. Well, we both vote B, so Big Mom ends up in B, and we have someone from, I don't know.
Yeah, another one of them, long leg lady who did absolutely nothing.
Bottom of C.
Yeah, bottom of C.
Smoothie.
And the Peronin dude too.
Oh look, it's Pero. Let's go.
Perospero, C.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Wait a sec. God damn it. Can we please
Okay,
put
okay,
Cracker
fine.
We put Cracker in Boruto tier, please. Please.
No.
I don't like Cracker. He's bad.
No, I think Cracker was a solid C.
I would put
Also
Long Legs-
C.
I put Smoothie in Boruto tier 2 because she did nothing and she was like, leader of this week, command. Get out of here. Boruto
Cracker.
Honestly,
Sorry,
I agree. Let's
C.
put them all in Boruto.
They're trash.
Perospero
No,
as well.
No, I'd keep Perospero. I'd keep in C. To be honest,
What has he
I
done?
Like Perospero. Like he's not one of the sweet commanders, but he's the brains behind the entire Big Mom Pirates. Like everyone else is a moron. Okay.
I'm putting Cracker
He's
in S,
literally the
bro.
brains behind
Cracker's
it.
like a son to me.
And I love the meme of Perospero getting thrown off by King, thrown off the waterfall, freaks out, and he's like, "But this time we will not fail because King is on our side."
No, I'm putting
our
Perospero in
boy
L.
Marco.
Perospero goes in L, man. We're getting knocked off twice.
Okay. All right, I'm with you. Let's go.
All right.
And I think that's pretty much it for this list that we have up here. Are there any other ones that we want to add to
I
this?
mean, you could put Shiki in C tier just because why not?
Well, he's canon in the world, but we don't know anything
But
about
he's
him.
not-
Or we know, we've never, like...
Krieg. What do you guys think, Krieg?
Honestly,
C.
I'm pretty happy with this list.
Where would you put Don Krieg, Noxy boy? I'd put him in C.
I'd also put him in C.
I think after that Mihawk moment, he gets a big L, bro.
Whoa.
Mihawk didn't even hit him. He didn't get hit by Mihawk. He lost to Luffy. If Mihawk would have taken out him with his shit,
Bro, he ran from Mihawk for like...
Okay, Axe
We don't
Hand
tell
Morgan
long.
goes in Boruto tier. Trash.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
The guy stuck in the treasure chest gets L.
Gaimon's not even an antagonist, bro.
He is for me.
Orochi.
Yo, Condioriano goes in L tier for sure.
Oh,
S
yeah.
tier, bro. What do you mean? The way that we thought that he was an antagonist and he ended up being one of the crew, like that was crazy.
Oh, that was a twist.
Also, Orochi. That's a solid,
I know another S tier antagonist, the noodle guy
Solid.
that Sanji fought on the train.
solid bottom of C would be Orochi.
Oh yeah, Orochi is easily a. I'd put Orochi in Boruto tier.
I mean,
really
he's not
He's trash.
he's not that bad because he actually had some plan and he was actually ruling a country.
Yeah, and so did Hody Jones. Okay.
And then he got his head chopped off because it didn't matter. And he doesn't
I mean,
matter.
he might come back, but
Or he
like,
might come
doesn't
back and get his
really-
head chopped off again.
Oh yeah, we need Bellamy the hyena, bro.
Oh,
I'm-
I'd put him
I'm-
in. I'd put him in A tier.
I'm calling it the 8 scabbards are going to each chop off one of his heads when he comes back.
You know what? I'm good with that because the 8 scabbards are also kind of.
Well, they did nothing. They have to do something here. Rather
No,
than just
they,
get their ass
they,
kicked.
they cut. How can you say that? They used Odin style. and
Oh
they
my
cut-
god, you
They
you
cut
cut
Kaido,
him.
which
You cut
essentially
him.
did
For
nothing.
for me, Bellamy would be C tier.
For me, Bellamy would be B tier.
Briggs.
Sorry, Bellamy?
Briggs. Yes.
Yeah, you guys just cut out for me a little bit. Bellamy, I put him in bottom of B. Compared to the guys who are
Alright.
currently in C. Like, RCT is
And-
pretty bad.
And of course, if Bon Clay was here, he would be an S.
Yeah,
Oh, easy.
he's legend. Yo, Kanjuro Boruto tier. I hate him. Garbage.
Oh yeah, screw con.
I wouldn't put
Like,
him
ha!
in Boruto, though.
Actually, a villain all along. All right, I don't give a crap.
Yeah,
Good
like
luck.
I wouldn't put him in Boruto just because he definitely pulled some shit off, but I don't like him. But
I don't
He-
believe in
he's
that
made
mentality.
he's made me
Animax.
laugh. He's made me
I mean,
laugh.
there. He didn't make me laugh. He made me cry.
What,
Cry of
what do you
sadness.
mean? What do you mean when he accidentally got the plans right or wrong, and that didn't make you laugh in that face? Come on.
Yeah, but that was just such a sad. That wasn't even a character moment. That was just.
I'm just
Oda.
saying
That was an Oda moment.
it was funny. So I can't put him in Boruto. I'll put him like C.
Ugh.
Yeah, and if Alvida was here, she would be in like bottom of
You
C,
look
I
for
guess.
one. It's like, okay, if this character had one redeeming moment,
if-
put him in C tier.
He's also
If
just like an
Alvida-
okay character. He's not like he's just very, very average. Very average.
I think he's bad because they built up the fact that there was a spy among their camp for so long, and it turned out
that's
to
true.
make absolutely no difference. Like, and I didn't care at all.
Well, because the scabbards were so freaking incompetent when it came to like.
Yeah. Yo, Charlos from the Celestial Dragons L tier.
Oh,
Let's go.
Charlos, bro. Hey, Charlos. Yeah,
Caribou.
L tier is fair. Oh, Caribou is a nice C tier because of comedic relief.
All right. Oh yeah. Okay. Caribou, bro. He's not an antagonist. He's a straw hat. S for straw hat. All right.
Let's go.
So what are we doing next week? Are we taking a break? Are we going right into another bracket or tier list type of thing? Because we want to do
gonna
Naruto
try
version.
to start the Naruto version. Yeah.
Are we gonna do both back to back?
No, I think we're gonna take off for One Piece.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Let's
we'll
take
alternate.
the week off for One Piece and then come back in 2 weeks.
Hell yeah. Sounds good to me.
We'll see. We might even have like 3 chapters to cover or something. I doubt it, but.
Naruto version next Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Twitch.tv will be uploaded to YouTube, the Rand Cafe.
First 9
anime.
chapters.
First 9 chapters.
And we are going to talk about, we are going to have it all up on like podcasting platforms eventually. Just, I think it takes a while to get it approved. Different podcasting platforms take a different amount of time, but either way, it's going to be first live here on Twitch, rankcafe.tv or twitch.tv/rankcafe. Come check it out. Naruto boys.
Naruto boys. All right.
Yo, Briggs, I am not gonna lie to you. Super excited for the bell test.
Oh. I mean, I'm excited for the bell test. I'm just not excited to see that. I guess we won't be seeing flashbacks of Naruto
Yo,
and
by
that
the way-
pole and the bell test.
Manga.
By the way,
We're manga boys.
should we before we end the podcast, should we kind of go over our results? Or at least the top, let's say 3.
The S tier One Piece villains: Doflamingo, Blackbeard, Katakuri, Buggy, and only Chads. Also known as
Senor
Senor
Pink.
Pink. A tier, we got Crocodile, Aokiji, Fujitora, Smoker, Akainu, Kuma, and Enel. In B tier, we got everybody else. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And the most important category of all, the L tier, we got Jack the Jobber, Gekkomoria, and Pero Spero. Thank you so much for being here. We do appreciate you. And remember to stay weird, fam.
Yo, Animac doesn't do
Yeah.
outros anymore, man.
I'm just waiting to see where it's gonna go because Nux is just.
Like when you
It's
when you
like,
realize the podcast is getting to this point, you just do an outro, goddammit.
All right, cool. Thank you guys for watching. Of course, stay tuned. Follow us on Spotify and all the other platforms. And until next time, see you, Space Cowboys.
Bang!